CBS 12 News is presenting a piece of content that's not ordinary morning news. It's the first in a series of special reports on the rise of anti-Semitism across the country and right here in our own backyard.
And thanks to our partnership with the USC Shoah Foundation, all of our coverage will feature exclusive interviews with Holocaust survivors, sharing their experiences from the war and their perspective on the challenges we are facing today. This is part one of Hate Rising, Anti-Semitism in America.
Anti-Semitism in America has always been. This is I find out. You know, I found out when I first came here. And I've been here, what, 70 years? Over 70 years? You know, it's never, all over the world, it has never gone away. It just every now and then it surges up worse than it was yesterday. And for some reason, after a little while, it seems like it's calming down, but it doesn't. It just doesn't have the group of people to mess it up again like it is now.
Vandalism and harassment targeting Jewish communities are even higher than ever.
As the nation grapples with rising incidents of anti-Semitism.
Anti-Semitism has been in the spotlight recently with celebrities like Kanye West and Kyrie Irving.
They are images from the last 5 years. Many 50 years ago thought we'd never see again. While anti-Semitism is on the rise internationally, there are also staggering numbers of incidents here at home, recently detailed by FBI Director Christopher Wray.
We've seen about 63% of religious hate crimes overall are motivated by anti-Semitism, and that's targeting a group that just makes up about 2.4% of the American population.
This at a time the former president, who days after announcing he's running again, had dinner at Mar-a-Lago with outspoken anti-Semite and white nationalist Nick Fuentes, along with rapper Kanye West, who goes by Ye.
So Trump is really impressed with Nick Fuentes.
That dinner met with fierce criticism from Democrats and Republicans on Capitol Hill.
There is no room in the Republican Party for anti-Semitism or white supremacy.
That is just an utter disgrace. That is un-American.
What do you think of the world today with the anti-Semitism on the rise?
Very sad. I'm very sad about that.
What do you think we can do about it?
We have to be very vigilant and open and talk to everybody and start to see who is good and who is bad. You know, there are bad people around still.
Hello, is Dalton Clodfelder here?
Who's asking?
I'm from CBS 12. I'm a reporter. I would like to talk with him about the
We don't talk to reporters.
Clodfelder and his friends are taking their message to college campuses. Their group, called Ye is Right, promotes the view expressed by rapper Kanye West to express bigotry and love for Adolf Hitler under the umbrella of Christianity, professing love for all men, no matter their sins.
Talking about how much you adore Adolf Hitler and
adore is not the correct
Never
term.
said that.
Never once said that in this entire
How do you feel about Hitler then?
I love him.
We love him. You love Adolf Hitler?
Yes. I love everyone. You love everybody. Put that in there. I love everyone.
But how can you love someone who killed so many people during the Holocaust?
How can God love someone like that?
Clodfelder and his friends, who showed up with their own cameras and microphones shortly after we arrived at Clodfelder's home, told CBS 12 News they are Groypers, a group the Anti-Defamation League calls white supremacists. Do you still believe that Jews control all the major institutions in the country?
That's a fact.
Including the media?
That's a fact.
Lies and propaganda are very strong motivators. If you repeat lies long enough, you know, people will believe them. And fortunately, thanks to our free press here, and let's hope that it remains free, that the truth is told to counter this terrible propaganda. And that's, you know, the Holocaust really happened because of the propaganda constantly thrown at the people and the truth not being told.
Anti-Semitism is one of those perennials, unfortunately. It's been around for thousands of years, and it seems to arise when people find a need for somebody to blame for something, whether there's a crisis in society, but it's always there. Whether it's peaking or valleying, anti-Semitism sort of is a perennial virus.
I have to tell you, I can't understand after such a World War II that there is still this all around us and getting worse. Not better, but worse.
Today we must all say clearly and forcefully, anti-Semitism and all forms of hate and violence in this country have no safe harbor in America.
Anti-Semitism is one of the oldest versions of dehumanizing one person versus another.
When our officers stopped these 5 individuals and basically told them that they were going to receive the citations, they started calling our officers different names, including our African American officers, using racial epithets, the N-word.
This is hard for you, huh? Your low IQ wants to attack you, doesn't it? Over a word.
I can only assume that there's a need right now, people feeling there's some crisis, there's great division. Seems, we're a society that has become very partisan, very split, and it seems the discourse has become very, very ugly.
Mass shootings becoming more frequent and homicide rates rising, so is the interest in guns. And the face of gun ownership seems to be changing.
Our Katie Benty joining us in the studio tonight with what employees of a local gun shop have been seeing and why. Katie.
Guys, that's right. More women, and particularly women of color, are buying guns. And it's a trend experts say that they started seeing during the pandemic. Now, that's according to the National Shootings Sports Foundation, a potential push being the high rates of domestic violence and other violent crimes Black women experience. Now, here locally, I spoke with the owner of Guns and Range Training Center in West Palm Beach. He says he's been seeing more women coming in looking to buy their first gun, and while there could be countless reasons behind it, owner Alex Schkopp says it's just the world we live in right now, where you need to know how to protect yourself.
Where women just becoming more independent. There's more single women, single moms, single women that they don't have anybody else in the household to act as a protector. So it's been kind of a thing.
Now, research done by the University of Chicago shows 1 in 5 U.S. households bought a gun from 2020 to 2022. During that time, data shows a 77% increase in female gun ownership. It's a number that doesn't surprise training instructor Nicholas Yali, who says most of his classes are comprised of women.
The thing about guns is that it alleviates the strength disparity between men and women. Women being more vulnerable in this culture and society, it's an equalizer. Simply put, it's an equalizer. Men looking to take advantage of women, when they're alone or vulnerable, this allows them to protect themselves in those situations.
Now, it's hard to get a full picture of what gun sales look like as transactions are not tracked by the government. But based on survey and data, despite seeing a higher percentage of women gun owners, white men still represent the largest group.